Hello. In 1993, I built my first home studio, Pepperland Productions. And this little 8-track reel-to-reel recorder was the hub around which it was built. At that time, I concentrated on learning the studio by producing some solo music and recording an album with my band. Today, some 23 years later, I still operate Pepperland and have added video production. For audio work, the old 8-track has been replaced by an Apple iMac running Logic Pro. But I still have a warm spot in my heart for that old reel-to-reel. The program you're about to watch was produced as an instructional video in 1996, demonstrating what multi-track recording is all about. The footage was recorded on Super VHS tape, the semi-pro format of the day. I found the original edited master, but as so often happens with magnetic analog media, the years had taken a toll and it was almost unplayable. I salvaged most of the original unedited footage and digitized it to preserve it. It brought back such great memories that although the original Super VHS raw footage was far below the digital video quality we have today, I decided to use it to re-edit the program. All of the graphic image files were gone, and so I had to rebuild them from scratch. But in the end, it was a labor of love. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, I'm Ed Sparks of Pepperland Productions. Pepperland is a project studio. This kind of studio has become popular in the last few years. Mine is an 8-track recording studio. That means that I can record up to 8 tracks, 8 separate recordings which can be played back at once. And that's the essence of multi-track recording. This program will attempt to explain what multi-track recording is, show some of the basic equipment needed to produce quality music, and we'll delve into the process. Multi-track recording was invented by a guitarist named Les Paul in the 1940s. He wanted to record himself playing many different guitar parts and then mix them all together. At this time, recordings were done live in mono with virtually no mixdown. So, multi-track recording allows one musician to record many parts, or many musicians to record each of their parts individually, and they can record their parts over and over and over on separate tracks until they get it just right. And each instrument's relative volume can be adjusted after the recording is made, better known as mixing. The final mixed version is called the master. Once the best mix or take is chosen, copies are made for distribution. Let's look at some of the hardware here at Pepperland. There are many types of recorders. I use an 8-track unit built by Fostex. This machine is an analog type, meaning it records up to 8 separate tracks on a magnetic tape using magnetic recording heads. Digital machines record differently. Some say better and some say not, but that argument is another story. The machine is controlled with a remote control. On this remote, there are level meters, memory controls, and the standard record, stop, play, rewind, and fast forward function buttons. Next is the desk or mixer. Although it looks frightening, once you understand one channel, the others are all the same. Here you control the volume, tone or EQ, and stereo placement of each channel as you record, and then again during playback to mix your master. This section of the desk sums the channels at mixdown. The summed audio then goes out of the desk from the stereo master out to the stereo mastering deck. In this case, it's a digital audio tape recorder or DAT machine. This recording media is small, but produces a very high quality recorded master. Another important piece of equipment for acoustic recordings is, of course, the microphone. There are many types, each used for different sounds. Outboard effects are essential to creatively alter a sound, either during recording or tracking, or during mixdown. Here are just a few: a microphone mixer, a digital delay reverb unit, an equalizer for tone control, a guitar distortion effects unit with its own EQ, and an electronic tuner. So, according to this, the client needs a 45-second instrumental cut of music for the title and credits sequences of a mathematics telecourse, something with a Latin feel. First, we lay down the drum track using a drum machine. I chose program number 44, Latin Rock 2. I set my tempo for 61, and I added fills with the fill function. All of this was recorded onto track 7. Next, I chose the Rickenbacker bass over the acoustic bass because of the sound I wanted. I decided to use a microphone on my bass amplifier this time to get the sound I wanted. I laid down the bass part onto track 3. Then I added various keyboard parts, one to track 2, one to track 4, one to track 8. And finally, a guitar part was to be tracked for the melody line. I had to choose just the right guitar. My acoustic dobro didn't give me the sound I wanted. Neither did the electric 12-string. It sounded too 60s for this track. I chose a Gibson Les Paul hollow body guitar for its mellow jazz-like tone. I recorded this guitar part direct, meaning I plugged a cable from the instrument directly into the desk. Now that all the parts are recorded, it's time to get creative with mixing all of the various tracks to the master DAT. The desk now becomes the control unit for the playback of the recorded tracks. We use the desk controls to add reverb from the outboard reverb delay effects unit, to adjust tone and the levels of each channel. After a few practice run-throughs, we set up the DAT mastering deck to make the final mix. We roll the 8-track and we hit record on the DAT. Next, the master DAT was downloaded to Super VHS video cassette, and then the graphics were added. Let's take a look at the finished product. Well, we've simplified the process somewhat, but now you have an idea of the various steps involved in producing multi-track recordings.